Yes then boys, if you've been looking for a video on how to learn the entirety of your replay editor in-game to make cool little videos like this, clips and whatever, TikTok shorts, YouTube, Instagram reels, then this is the video for you. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know, so stay tuned. Yes then boys, how are we all doing? My name is TheDonBro, and in today's video I've had a lot of questions asking to do a video on how to use the replay editor. So I thought we'd give it a go and see what we could get up to. I'm going to learn it as much as you guys are going to learn it. I can kind of use it, bro. I kind of know how to work it. It's not that hard, but I can see why people get a bit confused. And obviously because I've done so many, I can kind of teach you what I've learned from it so far. So it works for BMX Streets, it works for console, it works for PC, and I'm assuming it'll work exactly the same thing for PlayStation. So if you press the right arrow on your controller, you come into this little menu here. So you have a simple but effective replay editor. You have play pause, which is in A, which would be X. In fact, I'm not going to convert all the controls because you guys all know what a controller is. If I say A, it means X on PlayStation and vice versa. So you've got simple controls in the bottom right. Scrub is left trigger, right trigger to zoom forward, zoom back. A is to play pause. B is to come out of the menu, and pause is to hide the UI basically. So if you press X, you can go into this free camera mode. And this is like basically the important bit of your replay editor. So you can go ahead and press the back button next to the pause button, and you have these settings. So this is your FOV for like camera distance to and from. You have your tilt, which is obviously left, right. I'm not going to touch that because it tilts the whole screen and it's a pain in the butt. Fisheye is obviously your camera focus lens. A lot of people have quite a strong fisheye for edits. Vignette, I don't know how you say that, bro. Vignette is your darkness on the screens in the corner. So some people will do fisheye to about there and then have a really strong vignette. I'm going to call it that. You've got camera shake, which is obviously trying to bring realism to the guy holding the camera, and then you've got a crazy one. I tend to have it off for my edits so you can just see better, but low's quite good if you're using a cameraman. Depth of field is you can point it at your guy. It's not working. Basically you can highlight the rail and your guy. Let's see if I can get him up. So it basically, what it should do is highlight the rail and the guy riding and then blur the background, but at the minute we're just not the rail. Oh, there we go. Maybe I have to get us. See, I'm learning just as much as you. So he'll come into focus about there. We'll get a clip anyway so you can see it, but I tend to not use depth of field. So you could use the camera FOV to like zoom in and out. But for instance, we'll do it this way. So we'll put another keyframe here with Y, and then we'll follow a little bit more using the scrub, which is right trigger. RB is to go up and down. RB, LB, so RB up, LB down. Scrub a little bit more with the right trigger. Follow the character. Yellow again. Get some more height. Another one there. And then follow him down. So you're basically just scrubbing with the right trigger. And then tap in Y. Or triangle. If you're on that. If you're on PlayStation. So there. And then bang, and then you could zoom out the camera to like here or something. So then when you press X, you go into, when you're in this mode, press X again to go into normal mode, and then you can just press play, and there is your replay. So it's all about keyframes. Keyframes are so important. And then obviously if you want to clip that, you'd just press pause, press A, and there is your replay. And again, it's a slightly different one. If you want to do it off cameraman, you could do it off cameraman. But what you can also do, if your editing software is not the best, you can press A to get full speed and then hold trigger just at the right time, at the right moment to get slow-mo, and then press A again. So you can get like a fluid slow motion without having to use your editing software. If you can get it right. And it's just trial and error, honestly. But that's how people are making street edits. It's pretty simple. It's how I did the one on Adrenaline Alley. We'll just run on to Adrenaline Alley quick. And I'll show you how I did the Stanley flip nothing front scoot. So we'll go over it again just quickly. I'll try and do the trick first, obviously. Sweet. I did that first time. That is actually crazy. So again, replay editor. If you've crashed your scooter, make sure you go back on it. Just reset yourself and then go back on it. Then use replay editor, because sometimes the camera angle will be all dodgy. It also happens if your scooter breaks too. So replay editor is a little bit buggy. If your scooter breaks, then just come out of the replay editor and then go back in when it's fixed. Oh my god, only just reached there. So we start here. So we'll start our replay about here. We'll press X. We've still got the fisheye on. I actually want a little bit less fisheye on this one. So about 50. And then we'll keep the low shake on. So we'll start with the camera. We're going to go side on here. So we'll get like a completely side on angle the whole way there. Hopefully we'll keep the same distance. So you want to start with Y. You want to go scrub forward a little bit. Y again. Scrub forward a little bit. Y. You want to try and keep your guy in the frame the whole time. In the middle of the screen. So about there. Obviously it's really hard to know your distance from your character. So it is trial and error. It does take a while. So I've done a few in rapid succession that look just as good as the ones that's took me 10-15 minutes. It's just about being consistent with your keyframes. Really keeping the distance, making sure you're dropping a scrub, dropping a keyframe, moving forward a little bit, dropping a keyframe. Changing heights is where it becomes a little bit of a pain, but you'll get it. I feel like if you scrub it a tiny bit each time and then match the camera angle to your guy. If you can look in the bottom screen, you'll see how many times I'm scrubbing forward, dropping a keyframe, scrubbing forward, dropping a keyframe. Okay, so when you've done that, press X again. Zoom it all the way back with the scrub button. Turn the marker off, the replay editor. Press the pause button just to hide all the UI. And then here we go. Obviously, at the end, you can do it however you want. Most people will just zoom off into the corner. In edits anyway, in real life, that's what people tend to do. So again, if you haven't got a good editing software and your speed settings are a bit crap, doing it in game is so handy. So you can press A, hop in, just as you're coming up the ramp, slow motion it, just as you're about to land, press green again, slow motion again. Then as you land, press that again. Obviously it's about getting it right, so you want it to look good. So I'm going to do it one more. There you go. That is as simple as it is, boys. Keyframes, really, really important. You can change where you want using your RB, LB, and key snap to which one you want to go to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not hard. It's just all about camera angles and keyframes. Again, you could then theoretically, this is going to break. You can't even save the replay either. So having clipping software is really handy. Because I'm going to lose this now, but you could actually, oh my god, brother, you could actually come down here and then jump off the scooter. You could use your Rowe mod to get the kneeling light guy. Let's move that out of the way. You could put your kneeling light guy, for instance, here. He's facing the wrong way, which is great fun. So, now you would come down here. As you come over this ramp, matey boy's going to be sat there filming. You could do one clip of him coming down normally. For instance, I could film like this. And then in the editor, you could also do one of his angle and chop it into the video in the editing software. So I'd be coming down the ramp, slap a keyframe here. Okay, that went wrong, so I don't need the keyframe there, I think. So if I remove that keyframe by pressing the right stick down, that one, drop a keyframe there, drop a keyframe there, drop a keyframe there, and drop a keyframe there. So then close it off, and then it'll go like this. And then in my editing software, I'll bang that together, and you'll see exactly how it comes. And that is pretty much it, boys. So if it did help, leave a like, show me some support, drop your hype points below, subscribe if you are new. Hopefully it did help you. Hopefully my explanation of it helped, because I am terrible sometimes at just not really being that good at speaking. So I hope it did help. If it did, drop a like I said. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time, boys.